Okay, so today, um, basically, I built this fence recently, and I put a gate here. I got to kind of grind that root down right there on the ground. It's starting to catch on it now a little bit as the gate is starting to settle in, I guess. You know, you a gate this side is 6 foot, and this side is 6 foot. So, you know, you're gonna expect a little bit of sag over time. But I also installed a little bit of wheel here with a spring on it to try to help it a little bit. But either ways, so what we have here is basically, let me make sure you can see it. I've been wanted to have a way to close and lock the gate and then be able to open it from either side. So um, this Keystone latch series is a two-sided um, latch. It's rekeyable. You can unlock it and lock it from both sides. Stainless steel striker bar, and basically easy to install. Nationwide Industries. This isn't a paid advertisement or anything. Obviously, you can tell I've got like 5 subscribers, but but either way, we're gonna go ahead and install this today and see how it is. So let me go ahead and open it up, see what we got inside. I got this off of Amazon. It was about $65, I believe. And I gotta really get this knife sharpened because it is dull. I don't know how it cut through that so easy. But can't really call this an unboxing, I guess. Call it an unbagging. So here's all the stuff that comes in it. Basically, these are the little. I believe those are the little. I don't know. I've seen a video already on how to put this together, but it's been a couple weeks since I watched it. So yeah. So needless to say, this thing has. What I do remember is it's adjustable. Let me just make sure you can see. It's adjustable as far as like the size is concerned. I think it can go up to something all the way up to, like, I don't know if it says on here. Yeah, it doesn't say on here. Maybe it says in the instructions, but I think if I recall, it can go up to something that's all the way like 4 inches. Or here we go. So this says clad. What do I have here? This is the clad V P2B BK. So clad V P2. So the one that I've got here will go from an inch, from as small as an inch and 3/4 up to a 5-inch post. And basically that's how they do it is with these bars right here. This is what, as it mounts through, basically you break this off at the desired thickness that you have. So so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and install this and see how easy it is and how it works, and then we'll see what it looks like after it's on there. Okay, so basically your first step is you're going to want to decide on which side you're going to want the latch and striker. Um, for my situation, I'm going to want it here on the inside. My gate swings in, and this also, the idea for this is typically that basically you'll have a stationary pole, and then you'll have a one swinging gate, which will latch into that once it's closed. Since I have since I have dual swinging gates, if I want this to be effective and help, you know, and basically keep the gate closed and all that kind of stuff, I'm also going to have to install like on this gate here, a like a rod basically that goes down into the ground, you know, that you can take up and down so that it will keep this gate stationary. and obviously I want that on the inside. Um, you know, it's not foolproof. It's not like it's gonna keep somebody out if they absolutely want to get in here or whatever, but it's still a deterrent. And so I'll need to install a rod that basically makes this gate fixed. And when I open it from the outside, I'll open it from the outside, you know, press the button, push this gate open, and then if I need this gate open, then I can come in and I'll be able to move the rod and then open the gate. So also in my particular situation here, my gate is very close together. So it really has no play. So what I'm going to have to do then in order to install this is basically recess it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the latch down there, and I'll have to recess the latch also. But so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and just outline this. And I really just want to recess it to where this is flush with the wood. So I don't want to take off too much. You know, that's probably 1/8 of an inch, I guess. And I'll probably do this with the multi-tool, maybe even a chisel. But it is important though that this is recessed um, is to the same depth as this side will be when we put this other piece on, because the holes have to line up in order for them, you know, to go together. So if this one is sitting on the outside of the wood and this one's recessed in, they're not going to line up. They're not going to go straight across. So, and hopefully, yeah, because you use the same template for both sides. So they do include a template here, which, yeah, so that's pretty much the same size there as what I'm going to need. So that will, and basically what you're supposed to do here is, since I've already kind of drawn where I want it, basically you put this here, you've got this arrow. I'm just going to put a tiny mark there, and then I'm going to take a torpedo level and I can hold it still, get it level, and then basically continue my line a little bit. And then on the other side, with that template, I will go ahead and draw. This is going to be interesting to see how well this works, considering my holes are kind of falling almost. The screws will still grab though, because it's not completely in the center. So I get this outline made, and then we'll go ahead and knock that out and knock that out. And so what I'm going to try to do to get this to get an idea of how deep this needs to be. It's kind of hard to hold it. Well, it's kind of hard to hold it from this angle. There we go. So use a straight edge, kind of at a little bit of an angle like that. Make sure I'm flush against it, and then just draw a line on the inside edge. I didn't do so well. Make sure I'm flush against it. And just the pencil doesn't have a lot of lead exposed, is what it is. So we'll try this one more time. Alright, so we'll line that up and draw a line basically on the inside to where I know I'm flush there. I'm flush against it. Got a little line started there now. At the level here. That's going to give me an idea of about how deep I want to be on that. And basically I'll do the same thing on the other side. Alright. I was thinking about using the multi-tool, but let me see how this does. Getting pretty close. Pretty close, just a little further. Don't want to go too far. I'm not really looking at the bubble or anything. I'm just looking to see if I can get it to touch on both sides. Just a hair bit more. Probably got some high spots. Yeah, so that would definitely work. So here, there's two, obviously two separate pieces of wood here. I just need to be flush with this one because it actually sticks out a tad bit further than that one. And from the looks of it right now, that definitely feels good. And yes, this is the latches, which is going on the inside, but I can't take the other piece to hold it up to there because it's got those bars coming off of it. So I'm just using the latch to put on this side to see how, because this part's the same on both of them. So, because you use the same template basically to mark out the holes. So now that I've got this here, which I have to kind of hold it tight because of that arrow, but these are where my holes are going to go. You mark out all of them. There's 4 on this side. 2 of them are the 5/8 holes, and then 2 of them are the 1/8 inch holes. I think in the instructions it shows to mark it out on this side as well. but I'm not real sure why you would mark out the 4. Unfortunately, that arrow is kind of in my way. I hate to cut it off, or I don't really want to cut it off, but see if I can bend it out a little bit. Make sure your arrow's on the line though. So it doesn't really erase too well, but I can kind of see it was pushed out a little bit. Those 2 holes seem to be pretty good, correct? On the line. Okay, so basically should be good. Once you have major marks with your template, so these 2 in the middle are going to be the 5/8 inch holes. All the other holes, the 2 on the outside, the 3 in here, 3 in here, and then, oh, sorry, this phone started falling. And then the 2 on the outside over here are all 1/8 inch holes, which I'm not even really sure why we're drilling holes there, honestly, because the screws that they're giving us, I'm probably not going to drill the 1/8 inch holes. I'm probably just going to run the screws straight in without, I mean, I understand the idea of pre-drilling the hole or whatever, but these screws are small enough, they're not going to split this wood, especially considering it's pressure treated. So, the 5/8 holes though, because that's what I'm saying, so all the 1/8 inch holes aren't really screws that go all the way through. So it's like, I guess they're just wanting you to pre-drill them so you possibly don't split the wood or something, but that's not really a big concern of mine. The biggest concern, let me see if we got this lined up. So the biggest concern though is for these 5/8 inch holes is trying to make sure that you go through straight. I mean, I would throw the torpedo level on here, but the problem is this isn't really a level surface anyway, so that's not going to really help me. This particular drill doesn't actually have a level on it, so, you know, I guess you just have to kind of eyeball it. So we're going to go slow here. I did not have a 5/8 drill bit, so I'm using this. You just got to make sure you don't want this to get too hot, otherwise it'll get super dull super quick. And then also take it out of the hole every once in a while and let it expel the wood chips. Because where you're going to build up the heat the most on this is if you just leave it sitting there with all those wood chips in there and it just keeps spinning and it's not making any progress and you're just spinning and all the friction of all that stuff in there together will heat this bit up real quick and it'll dull it fast. Matter of fact, that's a good practice with any drill bit. Drilling through wood, masonry, anything like that. If you're drilling a decent sized hole, make sure you pull it out every once in a while, especially doing masonry. But that's just a little trick I use. Came out pretty close to the mark. Hey, let's hope it's like hand grenades and horseshoes, right? All right. Okay, so the instructions show you, depending on the thickness of your material, at which line to cut these. Mine is a little bit different because I'm not just dealing with a 2x4 here. The thickness of a 2x4. I actually have this piece of panel on the outside, which is 5/8, but in reality, which would make this about 2 1/8, but in reality, it's really closer to 2 1/4, like 2 3/16 to 2 1/4. So it really makes these marks kind of a reference point for me, but I can't actually use the marks that are on that. And you may run into that same kind of situation too, depending on what. So the first thing that I did basically is took the so the first thing I did basically was took this piece here, and the only one that you can really slide it in to find out where it bottoms out, like at least how far it can go, is that, and that's about 5/8 of an inch is what it goes in. So using that, I can then, because I know this surface is going to be flat against the fence here, I can actually go ahead and slide this through and basically, make it, cut it 5/8 of an inch further. And I may cut it a little long at first because it's better to cut it a little long and have a little extra and then cut it down when you see that it's still too long than to just cut it too short at first, because again, I can't use these marks. And this is a whole optical illusion here. I swear the bottom one that goes to the button really looks like it's longer than the other one, but when I measured both of them coming off of this surface, they're both 5.5 inches. But I will say the marks themselves are offset, so they're not quite, they don't appear to be quite lined up with this. They appear to allow this to continue to be longer, which will make sense because this is the button it's got to be able to push in there. So that one is going to be a little more difficult because I can't just do like this where I can slide it on and just see how far. I mean, I can slide it to see how far it goes before it actually starts to engage, but there is no bottoming out necessarily in there like on the other ones. So it goes to about that first mark before it starts to engage the latch right there. So that'll help give me a little bit of an idea. And then and then you can push the button. But so needless to say, I'm gonna go ahead. I've already figured out kind of where I need these to fall. I'm gonna go ahead and get them cut and then see how this fits. So now, obviously, I need to shorten this one a little bit because it's almost all the way up. But I think the top one looks pretty good. So back this bottom one off, probably to the mark. See where it's at there. Okay, so our latch is closed now. Now I'm not sure. Question is, does it have to be down? Let's see. Oh no, that's all the way. So I'm guessing that so what we're going to do is just a quick test run here. Get the screws. Working with the grinder, safety first, right? Got to protect those eyes. You only get one set from the factory. Like I said, these screws aren't very large. That's why I wasn't really too concerned about pre-drilling holes. I don't really, I mean, I guess we could, I don't know, they might split the wood. It's hard to say, but they're just not very big. This wood isn't green still, so I mean it's dried out pretty well, but yeah, there you go. So basically I just intend to put one screw on each side to just kind of hold it in place for a moment while I check and see if everything is the way that I would like it to be. There we go. Now that the question is, will it lock? Is it far enough? Well, you gotta check, make sure it's gonna lock from both sides too. Okay, so I'll turn that all the way around. Yeah, now we're locked. Can't push the button. Now, can I unlock it from the other side? Looks good to me. Looks good to me. So basically, just to let you know and to make sure I can, since I locked it from this side and unlocked it from this side, it's pretty safe to say that it's working. You may choose to have um, the keyhole on the bottom, and you can set this that way. There's a way to do it. You basically got to take out some screws on the back of that flat plate that's up against this on both sides, and basically, that's nice mosquitoes. Basically rearrange it. You can flip it. So if you want this to where it's just basically the other way around, um, from what I understand in the instructions, you can do that. I'm not too concerned about it. I don't really care that the keyhole's on the top. I like the button on the bottom better, anyways. And so basically, once the striker's in there now, let's see. So once the striker is in here now, it's locked. It doesn't come open, so that's good. That means the bars are long enough, and that I can go ahead and screw it the rest of the way on. We have 4 flat-headed ones left for the striker. So I would love to believe that the striker is just going to fit on there without me having to notch it like I had to do these, but I don't think I have enough room, because that's got a pretty thick piece of plastic there too. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to notch this side out just like I did these. But what I can do in the meantime, since obviously I can't just close this all the way and push it together, what I can do, so I can at least figure out, lost my pencil. What I can do, so I can at least figure out where it needs to fall, is just go ahead and pull this gate open a little bit to where they will allow it to come together, and basically see where I'm going to want that striker to fall. So it shows, I can see right there, that would be a good point. And what I'm going to do is just outline it there. Okay, so basically there's what I ended up with right there. We'll go ahead and get some screws in it and see how it looks. As you can see, this has ovals here, so I mean it could be adjustable. For me to adjust it, obviously I'd have to notch out, further. So but if you're just mounting it on something flat, it gives you a little bit of adjustment there. So let me just go ahead and make sure. Yeah, that we're gonna close. Yep. These holes on this side also have the oval so that you can adjust it as well. So that's it. Let me go ahead and close it. So it's closed. You know, obviously, like I said, these are large gates here. My gate has a little bit of lean to it, but again, with this long striker like this, it gives you a little bit of play. So, and obviously, if I want to, you know, open the gate, um, on this side, you just do that. On the other side, you actually press the button. But if I want to go ahead and lock it, and I'll go ahead and turn this all the way around. There's Elazar. So I actually have to take it down some. Now that will lock, I'm sure. Yeah, so now we go ahead and lock it. We're locked. Can't open it. It's good. And like I said, see, that's the whole. Remember, I got to get a pole for this side, to stick down into the dirt. That will keep that side from moving, and then this, you know. So we're locked. So we're good. So I'll go ahead and put in the last 2 screws, and that will be a done project. And there we go. All in all, I think looks like a pretty good quality latch system. The installation wasn't too hard, just little different on my situation because I didn't have, you know, standard lumber size of thickness, so I had to play with it a little, and you know, some other variables there. But other than that, not too bad. Seems to hold pretty solid there, so it'll definitely do the trick. Keep the gate closed. All right, well, as always, thank you for your time.